Well, guys, we're one step closer to that liver transplant. I got the phone call today that doctors approved everything from our evaluation, and so now we just wait on insurance, and that's a huge deal. It's been a whirlwind, and kind of update you guys on what's been happening over the past couple of weeks. Been somewhat quiet, and not intentionally, just a lot going on. We had evaluation, which I mentioned, and that's just a process that you have to go through to make sure, number one, that your liver is bad enough to need a transplant, but that you're healthy enough to survive the surgery. And so they do blood work, and you meet with counselors and coordinators, and they go through education and um, tons of heart tests and dental clearance and all of these things that they go through to make sure that you're good, especially because of the medicines that you're on for the rest of your life after a transplant, the anti-rejection stuff. And so it was a whirlwind of 3 days of all of that. And as I mentioned, it went really well, and got everything signed off and just waiting on insurance. The fun thing is we get to do it all again in September. So we've actually applied to be dual listed. And what that means basically is it expands the pool of people that you can receive a liver from. So we've decided to go to Duke and go through their evaluation process. Much of the same thing. A few things are different, a few different tests, but all in all, it's essentially the same thing. At least that's what we think. So we'll be going there in early September, and then if that goes well, we'll hopefully be able to be on both lists, and then just wait until we get that phone call. And so a lot happening. It's been quite the journey so far. Next Wednesday, I do have an appointment scheduled right now because of the cancer that's in my liver. They want, if at all possible, to be able to treat that, and so they're gonna. The hope is that they can do some chemotherapy that's directed straight into the liver, to the tumor, and be able to keep that thing calm until I can get on the list and get that new liver. There are some hesitations that they have because of my some numbers in my labs that are fairly elevated. They typically don't do this procedure when your numbers are that high, and so there's a very good chance that I'll go in, get prepped for the procedure, and then they decide not to do it. That's a very real possibility. If so, we'll deal with things as we need to from that. It's not a deal breaker by any stretch, but it's something that they would like to do if at all possible. So we'll see what happens, and we'll keep you posted on that. But it's been quite the journey. At some point, I'll talk a little bit more just about the emotional side of this, because a lot of what we talked about have been blood work and all of the medical stuff. But the emotional toll that it places on you is quite significant. One of the things that we met with the palliative care doctor during the evaluation was just the grief that you have of what is already lost, but then what's going to be lost, and how, especially in this season right now, roles have shifted a lot. I'm not able to contribute as much as I once was. Melinda has taken on a tremendous amount of responsibility, and she's just been incredible, my rock through this whole process. I can't imagine going through this without her. She's been beside me every step of the way, and it's those marriage vows. You don't realize what you're saying when it's in sickness and in health, and especially when you're sick. It's not always easy. It's not always pretty, but we've been in it together, and I'm so grateful for her, and so grateful for so many of you. A lot of you have helped in a lot of different ways. People have still been asking, how can we help? Some of you already donated to the GoFundMe, and that's been a huge blessing. If you haven't yet, even $5-10, it goes a long way. Obviously it helps us, but it also You guys know how the internet works, the algorithm and all of that stuff. It pushes it out to more people. More people can see it, more people can participate that aren't even in our circles. And so if you're willing and able to do that, man, that would be a huge deal. And then some of the tangible needs that we have put on an Amazon wish list. A lot of you have already helped with that. It's been a huge help already. Will be a help when we go to Duke, and also pre and post transplant. So thank you for all of your support, your financial support, just the things that you've done, for your prayers. And but one thing we talked about back in our days in Seattle, sometimes God calls us to pray. We should always pray, but also sometimes we can be the answer to someone's prayer. And your financial support and the gifts that you've given us have been a huge answer to prayer for us. So thank you. It's a really big deal, and we so appreciate it. We'll keep you updated as much as we can, and just hang on. We're on this journey together, and I appreciate you guys following along and helping us out so many ways. And we'll hopefully talk really soon. Thank you guys.